welcome back to another delirious voiceover. It is 3:21 in the morning. Yes, I have taken my sleeping medication, and no, it is not kicked in yet. I took it about an hour ago. I am tired, but not sleepy. So I'm just chilling. And I thought to do a little voiceover. So, let's review. I don't make fan art often, but for the next couple of sketches, I have done some fan art. So stick around to the end. The last one is the best one. But yeah, so if you're not already subscribed, you should subscribe. And if you like the video, you should like the video. So let's get into it. I don't make fan art often, do I? If you see on my page, I don't. I almost never do. But I've been really inspired by media recently, and it's mostly been Heartstopper and American Horror Story, like comfort watches. But yeah, all of these are traditional sketches, traditional drawings. So I make a lot of mistakes, but it's about the process, and it's about getting over ugly drawings and just finishing things. And that's how we should live our lives. That it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time. I think it's also because I spent a lot of time just drawing faces. Last video was all faces. And you know what? I get bored. I get bored easily. I think this is why I'm more suited to be a comic artist, because I'd rather draw loads of different things kind of in the space of a short amount of time. I couldn't do 100 heads. I don't have the patience. But or like animation, I don't have the patience for animation. Anyways, I don't know, what am I doing? First fan art, Marceline and Bubblegum. I've not watched Adventure Time in years, but I have very fond memories. There's something weirdly, I don't know how to describe it, like existential about Adventure Time. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if anyone else has it, but I watched an episode recently and I was like, oh my god, I can't, it makes me feel sad. What is that feeling? Where it's kind of weirdly, maybe because it's so brightly coloured and it's the nostalgia making me feel bad. But there's something weird, the undertones of it, weirdly real, maybe? I don't know. I remember being so annoyed at Bubblegum a lot. She's kind of weird. Her character, in a sense, is quite, I'd say, deep. She's well written, I think. From what I remember anyway. I've not sat and binged it, but I know that some of the decisions she made, and she's a leader. I don't know, it's just interesting. I'm not very good at talking about stuff like this. But this was still in the era of cartoons where I feel like adults cared about making good cartoons for children that we could look back at and analyze and be like, oh, actually this is really well written and this character is quite well written, and it's not this constant chase of Finn trying to get bubblegum. There's a point where he goes for Fire Princess and I was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But you know who I did forget? I totally forgot about Lumpy Space Princess. My beans! Oh, I'd have a whole show of LSP, I won't lie. The next drawing I had already done the basic sketch for. Yeah. But obviously I have to go back and do like my second round of sketching, and I wasn't planning to do anything too special with this one because it's on the back of the one I coloured. So it's on the back of the page that I had coloured, so it's a bit funky, but whatever. So yeah, I basically just, this is just my process in general. I just do the really basic sketch, and then I rub it out a bit, and then I do the sketch on top of that. And basically this is like kind of the line work, this one. And then I go in and I paint, and I think this one turned out really cool, and I was kind of annoyed that I didn't go over it in pen. But yeah, this is Flynn and Rapunzel, and this is a film that I watch every couple of years, and I'm always like, oh, actually, I relate. And Disney had no business making Flynn look like how he looks and acts how he acts. Like, girl. I'm joking, but I remember I watched it with my partner, and in my brain it just clicked, and I was like, wait. I'm kind of like dating the IRL version. But yeah, he's got a good nose, and he's got the same nose as my partner's got. And when I watched the film with my partner, he had the same hair, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, roleplay. Joking, I'm joking. Oh my god, I am joking. I am very tired. Yes. But yeah, I always think that my footage for when I paint, it always looks really bad because my paper always buckles. I don't know how anyone else feels about that and how it looks, but for me, it does bother me a bit, but I can't really do much about it. And like when it's dried, it looks fine to me. So whatever. But yeah, I've always resonated with the Rapunzel story. Not so much the Disney version, but I like the classics, where it's basically at the very first Rapunzel I was exposed to was Barbie Rapunzel, and that's very different. And Barbie Rapunzel, she was a painter, and it's touched on in the Disney version where she's like painted on her walls, but that's like not a big part of it. But it is in Disney, I mean in Barbie Rapunzel, where she has the magic paintbrush and stuff. Anyways, but that's not my favorite version of the story. I think my favorite is the one where basically some poor people steal some cabbages, and the witch who grows the cabbages catches them, and she's like, well, you have to, it's a trade, cabbage for baby, please. I do like the idea that she spends a lot of time alone and she just paints. That's the life of an artist. Okay, if you've noticed, yes, they're all couples because this is still couples season. It's not anymore, but this is like the aftermath of the season of love. And so these sketches, these drawings, these illustrations are very much inspired by that. Inspired by love. So that's why I've done couples. And I hope you can recognize this last couple. Probably, I don't know if it's a hot take, but I actually prefer Lois and Peter Griffin is my favourite animated couple over Marge and Homer Simpson. That's definitely a hot take, but I'll take it. I really like Lois. She's my favourite character. Is that a hot take as well? I I like the horse meme where she goes, Peter, the horse is here, and then it was turned into like a horror meme. Amazing. I like the way she pronounces certain foods like quinoa. And yeah, I don't know. I just think she is so funny and she has so many interesting backstories that they go into. It's quite funny. Anyways, I don't think Family Guys are so unserious. If you know what, it's like very much like a comfort watch for me. And you know, they say like soaps like Emmerdale and EastEnders, and those are supposed to like, oh, excuse me. That was disgusting. Where was I lost my train. I missed my train. The shows, programs like soaps, EastEnders, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, they are supposed to like encourage families or people in general to talk about issues that like come up in the storylines in the shows, and that's supposed to like spread awareness for certain things, like I don't know, like domestic abuse or whatever. But I've had many conversations that have arisen from Family Guy, if not more in depth, I think, because they sometimes the offensiveness shocks certain thoughts out of us where we're like, actually, where does that come from? You know? And I think I'm getting too political here. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, you should like the video. And if you like me, you should subscribe. And what else before I go? Everything is in the description as usual, including my Ko-Fi page and Redbubble shop. So thank you. Goodbye.